Welcome back, everyone. So, this is part 3 in the series on the recent mass murder that took place in Indiana this past weekend. And stick around to the end because I will be answering some of the questions that I have received in the comment section on the previous 2 episodes of this case. And thank you for joining me today. Indianapolis, the 17-year-old suspect in custody awaiting formal charges for murder following the mass killing of his family on Adams Street. Police believe the suspect was upset with his father and committed mass murder over the weekend. According to police report, the suspect got into trouble for leaving home the night before, setting off the deadly shooting that claimed 6 lives. The underage suspect now awaits a hearing before Marion County judge in adult court. Even though the suspect is a juvenile, the case will not go before a judge in juvenile court. With the 17-year-old charged with murder, the juvenile court has no jurisdiction. The adult court has jurisdiction, so they will charge him directly there, said attorney Ralph Staples. While attorney Staples isn't connected to the case, he says Indiana law clearly defines how a case will be prosecuted. Of course, when you're 18, you're an adult. But when you're 16 to 18, it gives the prosecutor some latitude in terms of punishment, but not in terms of charging, said Staples. Despite the horrific nature of the violence and the age of the suspect means the death penalty is off the table in this case, even though multiple people were shot and killed. He cannot be subject to capital murder, but the state could seek life without the possibility of parole, said Staples. When you look at the range of punishment, the death penalty is not an option for a 17-year-old. That is not permitted by Indiana law, said Prosecutor Ryan Mears. Prosecutor Mears added that when murder charges involve a 17-year-old defendant, the defendant can ask that the case be moved out of adult court back to juvenile court, but in many cases with multiple victims, it remains highly unlikely that it would move back to juvenile court even for somebody who is under the age of 18. It's going to start in adult court, and there's an opportunity to bring it back to juvenile court, but it's going to start in adult court, said Mears. The prosecutors are planning to formally charge this individual with the murders before Friday afternoon. Social media. In the days following this horrific series of events, it has come very clear, if you follow the case at all, on social media, a lot of people have come out to defend this young man, to make sure that justice is served for the victims, but at the same time wanting to blame or put a spotlight on law enforcement, going as far as even at the candlelight vigil, several members of the family and friends of the family said that they were watching law enforcement to make sure that nothing happens to the 17-year-old who horrifically just shot and killed 6 members of his family and wounded his younger brother and put him in the hospital in stable condition. Yes, the younger brother who did tell the police who committed this act is, they're trying to defend him. And there's no way around that. What caused this deadly shooting? According to 2 family members who were there at the candlelight vigil and who spoke with local news affiliates there on Sunday and on Monday, they believe the incident started over this young man wanting to leave the house to go to a house party. His father was worried about him being, near other people and contracting COVID-19 and then bringing it back to the home where several members of the family had pre-existing conditions where COVID could be deadly for them, along with the pregnant member of the home and her unborn baby. He didn't want him to go to this party and bring it back. And that was why he told him, and according to them again, that if he was going to leave to go to that party, to stay gone. Giant Gnat asked the following question: was there any violence in the home prior to this outburst and murder of the family? According to police records that are part of public information that can be researched online, there have been a couple of calls to the home for disturbances, but no arrest. And the police records for that home do not let us who the call was about, just a public disturbance. Next question by Janet 2151 asks, has he, I believe she means does he have a criminal record for violence prior to this? Juvenile records are sealed in the state of Indiana, and I cannot access those. Again, I'm sorry for not being able to answer that question. First one by JJ51. Oh dear God, what the hell is going on in this world? Who on earth can think it's okay to take another person's life? Pray for the families. Yes, definitely pray for the remaining families and the community involved here. Senseless acts of violence are never okay. Violent acts upon somebody else are never okay and should never be justified. Next one by RR1210, who made this actual statement. This is an everyday life occurrence in Philadelphia and Chicago. Not surprising. Actually, after you posted your comment, I checked on the violent statistics for Philadelphia and Chicago. And violent crime, yes, gun crimes are up there in both of those locations. And so are homicides in both locations. But I could not find a spike anywhere in the Department of Justice database that shows that familicide or family murders, where someone kills their entire family, is up in either location. And regardless, 1 life, 6 lives. It's still shocking and uncalled for. Next question, which should have been answered with today's video, is the death penalty an option in the state of Indiana? The death penalty is definitely an option in the state of Indiana, but not for juveniles. Next question by Deborah C. Deborah C. asks, in this case, were all the victims asleep at the time of the actual shooting? It appears that only 2 of them were in bed. The father and mother were in bed, and they were the first 2 victims shot and killed in bed while they were most likely asleep. The other 3 individuals who were shot, a total of 4 shot, but 3 that were shot and killed in the home were trying to flee the home. 1 was in the process of trying to get a window open to escape. His younger brother did escape, but the police are not saying how he actually escaped the home. But that's all the questions that I have time for today. This video is already long enough. But I thank everybody, for stopping in today, and stay safe out there. Until next time. Well, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you'd give this a thumbs up, and let YouTube and the algorithm know that you enjoyed this content. If you have only watched one video and this is it, well, thank you for stopping by. But I have a whole channel of over 500 videos for on YouTube right now. Why don't you go check one out? Links down below. There's a next suggested video there. You can subscribe too. I wouldn't mind if you would do that.